All right, let's get going. I'm excited to be here. I'm really, really excited to be here. As it was already announced, my name is Tyson Clayton. I am Market Trader Institute's product expert and Forex mastermind. I've been in this business in one way or another for about 17 years. I have helped train thousands of investors, made thousands of investments myself. Now, that's all good and great, and that's really cool. But honestly, that 17 years is, I'd love to say that when I started in this business of trading and investing, I'd love to tell you that it started out amazing, right? And money just started to just flood into my account. That's not the case at all. In fact, it couldn't be further from the truth. When I started in this business, I did, well, what a lot of people do. I got in this business because I got in towards the turn of the century, and over the last decade, and essentially said, well, you know, we're in the dot-com bubble, right? Boom, and I'm hearing these stories about people opening up accounts and making a tremendous amount of money. This can't be that hard. This can't be that hard. So what I decided to do is I decided that I'm going to be a trader, and I made every mistake you could ever make out there. And hopefully, I'm here, hopefully, to help you not make the same mistakes that I made, because this is a great, great business as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you surround yourself with the best. And so I want to kind of start things off by giving you kind of one of the secret sauces of the business, one of the core secrets. And a lot of you probably already know this because you're here. But one of the main secret sauces of this business is pretty simple. It's you find somebody or a group of people that are really, really good at what they do, and then over time you start to mimic, you start to do exactly what they do. And as long as you do that, as long as you can follow kind of that formula, then over time, I'm telling you, you're going to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. You're going to start to mimic and start to trade the way that we trade. It's absolutely brilliant. And once you start to trade the way that professionals trade, everything else, all your fears and worries and anxiety, it's all gone. And I talk to a lot of people that seem somewhat worried about what's going on in the world today and what's going on in the markets, and seem somewhat worried about well, what does a Trump election mean? What does the you know, the Italian referendum not going through? What does that mean? What is all these resignations of the New Zealand Prime Minister? All this, it's kind of an awkward, weird kind of market, and there's a lot of worry out there. And the brilliant part about what we do, and what I'm going to show you today is a successful formula. The brilliant part about what we do is that once you learn how to trade and invest, then you no longer have to fear those things. In fact, you kind of welcome a little bit of the chaos, a little bit of the uncertainty, because when that happens, you get volatility in the markets. And we as professional traders, we love volatility. That's when we make the most amount of money. We absolutely love it. So I wanted to do real quick, introduce the place that I went from being a good trader to a great trader. This is Market Traders Institute, and I'm happy to say, very proud to say, that I am now Market Trader Institute's product expert, Forex mastermind. I have been for about 1.5 years, and I started studying under Market Traders Institute about 2 years ago. And before I came on, I was a good trader. In fact, if you would have asked me at that time, I would have told you that I was a great trader. I would have said, you know what, I'm not just a good trader, I'm a great trader. And I was a good trader, but I was not great. I was not great. But since I've been at Market Traders Institute, I've become a great trader. I've learned what great traders do. In fact, the profitability and the things that I'm doing in the markets, and the things that I'm seeing our students do in the markets, I wouldn't have even, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have even thought they were possible. But Market Trader Institute was founded by this gentleman right here. His name is Jared Martinez. He's the FX chief. If you don't know who he is, you're going to want to get to know him. He is who I would consider to be easily one of the top 5 currency traders in the entire world. He's absolutely amazing. And he founded Market Traders Institute. And Market Traders Institute's not a company that's, you know, like a new company. In fact, they've been around. They've been around helping and guiding and helping students become professional traders and helping them accomplish whatever goals they have in the markets. And all of you in here have your own goals, right? You all have your reasons you're here. But Jared Martinez founded this in 1994 in Orlando, Florida. Now, I would love to tell you that I trade from Orlando, Florida. I am in Orlando right now. I travel down to Florida a lot because that's where our corporate headquarters are. I also travel down here to go on vacations, which is always nice, with my wife and kids. But I actually live in Minnesota, so I trade from my house in Minnesota. That's another really great thing about this business is that we can trade anywhere. We can trade anywhere in the world. Currency markets are open 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week, and as long as I have an internet connection, guess what? I can trade. In fact, a lot of people are surprised when I tell them a lot of my trades. In fact, I would say probably, man, I got to tell you, probably about 90% of my trades come from my phone. I actually trade directly from my phone about 90% of the time. It's awesome. I love this business. So again, we have over 200 of the most talented staff members in the world, and here's the thing: is I can say that because I've been around the block in this business. I've helped manage and I helped build up some of other trading and investing schools, some of the largest ones in the world. I've managed money, I've created and started my own companies, and I've been around some amazing traders, but I've never been around any group of traders that are anywhere near what Market Traders Institute is. And it's for a few reasons. One, because we love the markets and we love helping students. And two, because we have dedicated our resources, our time and our energy to make sure that we do everything we can to advance technology, to make sure that we make this business as seamless and as easy, right? It's not easy, I don't want to say that, but as seamless and as systematic as we can make it so new traders like you, right? If you're new, I don't know if you're new, we'll find out in a second, but new traders can come in and they can start to generate income and accomplish their goals fast. The problem that this business has had for years is it takes a long time to master it. Not anymore. Because of the advances of technology and because of companies like Market Traders Institute dedicating tremendous amounts of resources to advance the technology, so traders all around the world can start generating income fast. And their whole mission is very simple. It's to create successful traders. To create successful traders. And here's one of the biggest things, probably one of the things that I am most proud of when it comes to being with this company. And there's a lot that I'm proud of when it comes to being with this company, but the biggest thing is this statement down here. We never leave a client behind. Now what that means is when you become a student of ours, at the end of this I'm going to tell you about a Forex package that I put together. It's called the Ultimate Forex Package, and it's awesome. I mean, it is literally A to Z, an amazing package to get people up and running and helping you generate income. Now when you join that, and when you join our team essentially, then we're going to do everything we can to hold your hand, to guide you, to help you accomplish whatever goals you have. In fact, we assign an account representative, kind of a trading coach to you. Then you work directly with us. I share my workspaces with you. We get as close to trading with you and for you as we possibly can while you're mastering this business, because we don't want to leave you behind. We want to make sure that you're able to accomplish the goals that you set out to accomplish. It's so vitally important. So again, I can sit here and brag about what I've done in this business. I can sit here and tell you all the great things that I've done, and they're all true. And this business is, since I've become a professional, this business has blessed me in amazing ways. It is the greatest business you could ever be in, but it's not about me. It's about you understanding that this works. Trading and investing in the currency markets is probably the greatest business anybody can venture into, and you can do it. I'm here to tell you, you can do it. Even if you've struggled in the past or if you're brand new, I'm telling you, you can do it. Now, here's what we're going to go into today. You're going to discover the formula, my formula, the formula that thousands of students have used worldwide to generate a substantial amount of income and to sit there and to accomplish, again, whatever goals they may have in the markets. You're going to learn the 3 steps to a perfect trade. I'm going to show you some of my favorite trade setups right now that I've actually shared with thousands and thousands of students. They have access to all of these trades. And then I'm going to show you how everything that's taken me and many other traders years and years to master. All the knowledge that I have in my head that took a lot of pain, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of, just, trial and error, a lot of that information, and now separating what works from what doesn't work, all of that now can be automated because of the advances of technology. It's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, and I'm so happy you're here. In fact, there's a lot of people that have started in this exact place. They started in a webinar like this, kind of with a thought process of, well, one, does this work? Can you really trade and invest in the markets and actually generate an income? And two, if you can, if it is possible, then can you do it? Can you do it? Not can someone do it. What I mean is, can you do it? And these are just some examples of some students that have started kind of where you're at. Like, for example, Sophia, 261 pips. Gavin, 280 pips. The thing I always love is showing something like this, right? So look at this, Robbie, up 21.2% return on investment this week. Now, we live in a world, now I want you to think about that. We live in a world where we're told by the financial, I guess the powers that be, the talking heads on the financial networks, we're told that a 7 or 8%, 9%, maybe 10% return is a good annual return. That's ridiculous. I'm telling you, that's ridiculous. That should be, if the money you're getting a 7 or 8% return on should be your legacy money that you're setting aside for you and your grandkids and your kids' kids that you're going to have grow slowly. But it's ridiculous. You can generate a much higher return on your investment than that to actually generate income. And so we're going to go into that formula today. And hopefully by the end of this, you're going to realize that, yeah, you can do this. It's not hard. It just takes some education. Down here, we've got 1,400 pips. Now, some of you might not even know what a pip is. That's all right. I'm going to explain that. Yep, I'm going to explain what a pip is. I'm going to explain kind of what's the ins and outs of currency trading and all that, and why I believe if you've traded in stocks and options or futures or whatever it might be, the currency markets are by far the greatest market. And I've traded in everything. I still very actively trade in stocks and options, very actively. But my favorite asset class, it's close. I love stocks and options, but currencies are probably my favorite asset class because of the scalability, the access of the markets, and the ability to make a lot of money with a little amount of money. So again, just some more examples. 300 pips here. Again, you might not know what a pip is. We'll go into that. 600 pips here. 9.5% in 1 week. It's just amazing stuff. And I can go through this time and time again. I mean, we could go to my Facebook page, which I'm not going to do. I don't want to bore you guys. But I can go to my Facebook page and we can see examples of trades that have done well, and examples of traders just like you that have done very, very well. And so I wanted to give you a few examples. Now, I do live sessions. I don't typically do a whole lot of sessions with non-Market Trader Institute students. My job as the Forex Mastermind at Market Traders Institute, what they brought me in to do is to be the expert, right? To be the specialist who comes in, and after somebody decides that yes, they want to learn this business, that's when they typically start working with me. And so I don't do a whole lot of these webinars in front of non-Market Trader Institute students, but I like to do them because I know you guys are here because you have like a desire to really make some money. So I just wanted to give you an idea. I'm going to go through some of the basics of currencies first because I know maybe a lot of you might not know what currencies are. You might not understand how to trade currencies. So I'm going to go into some of the basics of currencies. And then we'll go into a little more detail on the formula I use and that we all use, hundreds of thousands of people use to generate income. And then I'm going to show you how we can automate all of this, which is really, really awesome. Okay, so this is a chart. These were trades that I set up before the election. We were positioning for the election. There's obviously going to be big volatility around the election. This was around the U.S. election, and this is just one example of many, many trades that we've taken. But this was a position that we set up in charts that I set up in front of a large group of students that all had the ability to take advantage of this. And so the idea was this. What we wanted to do is, and I'm not going to go into the specifics right now, I'll go into it a little later, but what I was looking for, and this was back on October 27th, so let me mark October 27th. So back on this date right here, back on that date right there, what I was looking for is I was looking for the dollar yen, so this is the dollar versus the yen. I was looking to buy the dollar yen. In the currency markets, you can only do one of two things. You can either buy or sell. It's not like options where you have 15 different things you can do. It's real simple, right? It's simple where you're either going to go long, where you're thinking that the currency pair is going to go up, or you think it's going to go down. You're either going to buy or sell. So if I'm looking to buy the dollar yen, what I'm really saying is I think the dollar is going to go up against the yen. And I'm going to show you the formula I use to conclude that. But so we were looking to buy the dollar versus the yen. Say it another way, again, we were looking for the dollar to get strong against the yen. And so I set this trade up on the 27th, and I created what's called a buy zone. And my buy zone was down in this area, down in here. So I typed this out. This was all done in front of students. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to buy between 99.95 down here and 101.83. And my targets were going to be 105.11 and 108.22 is going to be my second target. Well, as you can see, and I'm going to kind of delete some of this so you can kind of see this a little better. As you can see, what happened was price from this date, it almost got down there, didn't quite get down there, then spiked down to my entry level where a lot of students, myself, started getting long, and this trade here produced, to the first target, produced about 328 pips, and to the second target produced about 639 pips in a very short amount of time. In fact, this first trade hit a target in literally one day. It traded here, it spiked down. Now you might be wondering, well, what caused that spike? Well, look at what the date was, the election. Check this out, 11/8. Look at where the price spiked to. This was, again, all set up before the election date. In fact, we set it up on the 27th. The election day, it spikes down right into my buy zone, and then the same day it rallies up and hits a target of 328 pips. So what does that all mean? So that one trade, this one election trade, basically that happened on election day, if you made 328 pips, that means there's three different ways you could have traded this. And this is what makes currency trading so awesome. You and I are going to be on the same exact playing field. In fact, you are going to be on the same, if you're trading in the dollar yen, you're going to be on the same playing field as the institutions. The only difference is do you have the same information they have, or do you have the same skill level they have? But the reality is they don't have access to any other magical products or magical markets that you don't. So the dollar yen, when I'm looking to buy the dollar yen, they're looking at the exact same price at the exact same time that I am, and then we're making decisions on should we buy or sell. And here's one of the best parts is you can start with a very small amount of money. If you've traded stocks and options in the past, for anybody in here who's traded stocks and options, then you probably know that there's pattern day trading requirements. There's requirements on minimum account sizes for you to actively trade in the markets in and out. And if you go over those, then they're going to freeze your account. And that's not going to be good. Well, in the currency markets, there are no pattern day trading requirements. You can trade all day, every day, both long and short. I could buy or sell the dollar yen with no restrictions. Now, this trade right here, this long trade, you could have done what's called a micro lot. In a micro lot, you would have needed to put up $20 as an investment. So say that another way, you would have needed $20 in your account to take this long position down here, $20. And if you took that long position down there on a $20 investment, the micro lot moves each pip is worth 10 cents. So that means that if you took this trade down here with a micro lot, you made 328 pips to the first target. 328 pips times 10 cents a pip is $32.80 of profit in one day on a $20 investment. Now, I want you to think about that in terms of return on your investment. That means that you put up 20 bucks to take the trade right here on a micro lot. You turn that $20 in one day, you put in a $32.80 profit just in one day. That is an absolute huge return on your investment. In fact, based on what you put up with the $20, if you made $32.80 on 20 bucks, that's 164% return in one day on what you had to put up in the trade. Now again, these are the type of trades that happen very, very consistently. Now I'm not saying that somebody should have taken this trade with only $20 in their account, but what I am saying is you could have taken this trade with only $20 in your account. Now that's a micro lot. All right, so as you advance and as you get a little better in this business, what you'll do is you'll get a little more comfortable. You'll spend more time with us. You'll say, you know what, I kind of want to start really generating some income. And what you'll do is you'll go from a micro lot to what's called a mini lot. And let's say that you decided to trade a mini lot instead of a micro lot. Let's say you traded a mini lot on this trade. Well, then at that point you would have needed a $200 investment. Okay? You would have needed a $200 investment. So you say it another way, you would have needed $200 in your account. But each pip on a mini lot isn't worth 10 cents, it's worth $1. So now if you do the math, if you took the same exact trade, instead of making $32.80, you actually made $328 in one day on a $200 investment. Now you're starting to maybe realize, oh, okay, that same exact trade, whether you traded a micro lot or a mini lot, could have produced amazing returns, but you didn't have to start with a lot of money. Nicholas, this isn't hindsight. This was actually a trade that was set up in front of students live. That's the fact. So it's not hindsight. It's fact. It really happened. It really happened. It was really a trade that was set up by me in front of students. So, all right. So now the next thing is this. Let's say you go from a mini lot. Now you're getting really comfortable. You go to a standard lot. The standard lot investment, what you need is $2,000 to take a standard lot. And every pip, instead of being worth 10 cents or worth $1, is now worth $10 per pip. And this is when the business starts to become life-changing. This is when students start to say, okay, now I'm experienced life-changing type of income. Because this trade in one day on a $2,000 investment could have made you $3,280 in profit. Type in a M-E in the question section if you would like to have found a trade in a matter of one day that went right down in your buy zone and then shot right back up in a matter of less than one day, in fact a few hours, and made $3,280 on a $2,000 investment. It happened right there. Happened right there. And this is the type of stuff, these are the type of trades that happen very, very often. That's the next question is, well, how often do these type of moves happen? How often do they happen? They happen all the time. They happen all the time. And so hopefully what I wanted to do to start with is I wanted to give you guys an idea of the power of the Forex market. I wanted to give you an idea of what every pip stands for. And now what I want you to do is I want you to bring your attention over to this. So this is my FX book, and this is my account. This is my live, real. This is a real account. This is not hypothetical. So Nicholas, if you're out there still, when you said, oh, hypothetical, this is hindsight. No, listen, this is real. This isn't like, I want to make sure everybody understands what I am talking about today, what I'm talking about. Like, we're as real as it gets, okay? So, like, this is not like somebody who's like, tells you to do something or shows you something and then doesn't do it himself. No, that's how I generate my income. And so this here is a real live account. It's my account. And everything that I'm going to show you today, these trades, I set this individual account up. I have multiple accounts, but this one was set up since June, and basically set this up to track the performance of the Ultimate Forex program, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today, the Ultimate Forex program formula. So why did I want to show you this? Well, because we went into how powerful or what each pip represents. Well, since June of this year, in a real live account, I am up right here this year pips, 27,673 pips. Now, what does that mean? That means if somebody was following me on 27,673 pips, that equals $27,673 on a mini lot and $276,730 on a standard lot. That's the real deal. That's a real account. That's really me. So again, I want to make sure everybody understands the money to be made in the currency markets, the amount of money that you as an individual can make is awesome. It's awesome. The fact that I have generated 27,000 pips in a matter of 5.5 months. You know, you think about that. That's 4,000 to 5,000 pips on a monthly basis. If you generate 4,000 to 5,000 pips on a monthly basis, you are changing your financial future and you're accomplishing whatever goals you have in the markets. Type in a wire yes if you understand. If you can learn how to generate 4,000 to 5,000 pips a month, all of your financial fears and worries and all that are gone. They're gone. If you can learn a skill and to generate 4,000 to 5,000 pips on a monthly basis. It's very, very important to understand that. Very important. They're gone. And guess what? That's what we do. I do it using the same formula I'm going to show you today. Okay? Is it 32 or 38? It'd be, yeah, a good question. It'd be 3,280 pips right here. So, because it's $10 per pip. Okay. So that was just an example of one trade, but that wasn't the only trade we set up during the election. Here was another trade that we set up during the election. Again, this was all spelt out live in front of students. We recorded it. We record everything, by the way. So, I mean, there's no like fabricating what we do because everything we do is recorded. But this was recorded. Students were going long down here in the pound, and this trade is up about 407 pips on the first target. But again, now I will agree with what Nicholas said. Hindsight is 20/20, right? Who cares about what happened in the past? Who cares what happened in the past, right? What we're here to do is figure out what we can do going forward. What you can do, because I'm fine. All right, I'm fine. All right, I'm gonna do really well going forward. Now the idea is, what can I give you so you can now go forward and do amazing things. A pip. I just explained what a pip was. A pip is basically what it stands for is price interest point. It's the smallest fraction that a currency can move in. And basically, it's almost like if you trade stocks, look at pips as like pennies, right? So it's the movement within the currency markets. Okay. All right. So before I move to the formula, before I start talking about the formula, type in a wire yes, and I'd like everybody to do this. Please let me know if you're at least a little bit comfortable with it. And trust me, I know that you might not be a master yet, but at least you understand. Okay, Tyson, I see there is some power in the currency markets. I'm seeing it. Type in a wire yes if you're starting to, oh, okay, all right. Now let's get to the meat, Tyson. Let's get to it. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you for that. All right. Let's go into the formula. So as I go into the formula, question for everybody. On a scale of 1 to 10, because I'm going to show you the exact formula that I use to find trades. And then I'm going to show you how all of this formula can be automated, right? So, and is automated. And we've got many, many students that literally sit there and generate income just based on the automation. So let me ask you a question. How many of you, or on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like you're the greatest trader of all time, you should be the one talking right now, not me. And one being, you know what, I don't know a whole lot about trading, and I'm not just talking about the currency markets, I'm just talking in general. One being, you really don't know much at all. Where would you consider yourself? On a scale of 1 to 10. 10 again being like the master of all masters. 1 being, you know what, I don't really know much at all. In fact, I really haven't placed any trades, taken any trades. Where would you consider yourself? And again, when I do these, I don't do a lot of these in front of students, but when I do, I get a range from, I get people who say they're negative 10. To all the way to people who, I've only seen a couple people type in that they thought they were a 10. It's always interesting. Not to say somebody can't be a 10, because I've met a few 10s in my life, but we've got a 6, we've got a 1, we've got a 6, we've got a couple 3s, we've got a 4, we've got a 7. Okay, good. We've got, all right. So we got a good mix, 4.5. Cool. All right. All right. Okay. Options. All right. Cool. So options, we've got a 5 for options. We've got a 1 for Forex. Okay. Well, I'm going to expand your guys' horizon a little bit here. For you options and stock traders, I love stocks and options, by the way. Love them. Absolutely love them. They play a really, really big role in my long-term portfolio, and they also play a role in how I generated my income. Here's the reason why I love currency trading. I just explained it, but another reason is because it's open 24 hours a day, it's scalable, and the leverage, it's kind of like options, right? You buy a high delta option. Let's say you want to go long the S&P 500. Instead of putting up, you want to go long 100 shares of the SPY, instead of putting up, $22,000, right, or $22,000 or whatever it is. Instead of doing that in total cash, why not buy like a high delta option, get the same exact type of position, maybe a little bit of theta decay, possibly, but you get pretty much the same bang for the buck and put up like maybe 15% of that. Now, a lot of you understand what I'm saying, right? It's the fact of, or it's the value of using other people's money, essentially. That's what options allow you to do. Well, currencies allow you to do the same thing. Currencies allow you to do the same thing. It allows you to use leverage and to make a substantial amount on a very little amount. If something moves 1% in the currency market, well, then that 1% can be a very big movement, can produce a lot of profits for us. So I just want to kind of go over, I guess, the market 101, right? Market 101. A lot of you should know this. We know that the markets, and this is so true in the currency markets. It's so true in the currency markets. The market moves in waves. Now, there is an argument in the equity markets that says the market, well, it does move in waves, but it's got a natural bullish bias, right? Type of wire, yes, if you agree that the stock market, yes, it moves in waves, but less in waves. It's got a natural bullish bias. And long term, you should probably be more of a buyer than a seller in the stock market when it's all said and done. Why? Because we have hundreds of years showing that the market goes up, right? I mean, the market's, the Dow is going to go up to 100,000 before it goes down to 0. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Now, it's going to take a long, long time, but it is. So in the stock market, you should probably be naturally a buyer. You should be more of a buyer naturally in the stock market. It just should be. And in the currency market, and that psychologically is tough because we as traders, we have a hard time sometimes just getting into a position and just staying in that position in one direction. In the currency markets, on the other hand, it moves in waves, up and down, and these waves are repeatable. And what they do is, and we know this is trading 101, what we know is the market moves in waves of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and it kind of puts in kind of what's called trend lines, right? We trade a lot with trend lines. And as long as the market is moving higher, then we want to be a buyer. But here's one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you. If you're looking to buy at a low price in an uptrending market. Now that's easier said than done, but there is one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. A lot of novice traders out there, what they do is they get emotionally attached to a position, and they get emotionally attached to a chart, and what they do a lot of times is they start to buy here. because they don't want to miss the move, right? I got to get in, got to get in. They start to buy there. The market then goes against them, and then they panic out and they get out of their position someplace down in here. And they go through this cycle, this horrible, it's a vicious cycle. And they buy at the wrong times, and then the market goes against them. They panic out, and then they look at it again in the next few days, and what do? They oh, I can't miss it. They buy again, and yep, you guessed it. And then they panic out, and they buy again, and then they panic out. And this is just a vicious cycle. Now, don't get me wrong, they don't lose every single trade, but that is typically what happens. They're trading based on emotions. They're kind of trying to do this without any systematic formula. What the professionals do, and that's really what we're going to be talking about today, is how you get on the side of the professionals. What the professionals do is we want to define where the market's going, where it's really going, and then once we understand and come to a conclusion of where the market's really going, we then want to buy at wholesale and sell at retail. So we want to be the people selling to this guy up here, right? And then buying it back when he panics out, when he or she, novice trader, starts to panic out of the market, we want to buy it back from them. Say, hey, okay, we'll take it. And then we're going to ride it higher. They're going to jump back in. We're going to say, here you go, you can have it back. And then we're going to buy it again, and we're going to ride these waves higher. That's what happens all of the time. The reality is, in this business, the transfer of money happens from those that do not know what they do or what they're doing, the novices, the uneducated. Their accounts get transferred into the accounts of the educated, the professionals, every single minute of every single day. It's fact. Because this is a zero-sum game. So for every winner, there's a loser. So all we have to do, all you have to do, is understand the winning formula and get on the side of the winners and stay out of the way of the novices. That's it. So as long as the market's riding this trend higher, we want to be a buyer, but we want to be patient. We want to be strategic. We want to be systematic about our entries. We don't want to just jump in and just go for no reason. We want to have a combination of a few things. So what we look for and what we use is what's called Fibonacci's. And I'm just going to go through some basics of Fibonacci's, but what we know the market moves in waves, and those waves we plot those out as A, B, C, D wave movements. That's the way it works. And this helps us kind of get an idea of where the market's going to go, how it's waving up, how it's waving down, and where we should start looking to take our targets and where we should start looking to get back in, because as long as the market's moving up, I should get in. So the way we would do this is, if this is the first A, B, I would take my Fibonacci tool and I would draw my Fibonacci's, extend my Fibonacci's like this from the A to the B. And then once I extend my Fibonacci's, that gives me an idea, because the market does not move in a straight line. It never has, never will, especially the currency markets. Because the market doesn't move in a straight line, that gives me an idea of where price will fall next, because again, we had this big leg up. Well, the next move should probably be what's called a retracement. So what we want to see is, we want to see a retracement back down. We just rearrange this a little bit. I'll extend this a little higher so this example makes a little more sense. But what we want to see is, we want to see a retracement of that leg higher, followed by an extension. And so what we do is this. Let me delete this. We look to, if we got an AB up, and let's say the market is moving higher, and we're like, okay, it is moving higher, we need to be a buyer. Well, we don't just jump in here. What we want to see is, we want to see price retrace back down into what we call our buy zone, because the market moves in waves of A, B, C, D. And we know that every move, A, B move higher, has an 80% probability, historically 80% probability of retracing back to between a 382 retracement and the A, so back to between A and the 382. So what we would do is, we would wait, and we do this with our students every single day. We would wait for the market to retrace back into the buy zone, And at that point, we would start to look to buy. Now, how do we buy? That's when we bring in what's called short-term trend lines. We want to see a short-term trend line break in the buy zone with some type of, possibly some type of bullish candlestick formation that maybe looks like this. If we're A, B up, we've now got a retracement. We get some type of bullish candlestick formation with a short-term counter trend line break, something that looks like that. Something that looks like that. Then we've got a trade we're looking to get into. So what we would have done is we would have looked to start buying here, and then we would target if the price goes from, if the price stays within this red zone, the red zone being this area from the 382, really this whole area right in here is what's considered the red zone. Let me draw this out. I think I've got time to do this, and I want to do this for you guys anyway. This is what's called the green zone. So we believe that price will go from green. If it goes down into the green zone, then we believe that our target should be up to the green extension up here. So green to green. If we go into the blue zone, then we believe that the price will go from blue. Let me mark that. I'll let you guys take a picture of this. This will be good. In fact, I'm gonna share this with you guys at the end of this. Anybody who wants to have access to these workspaces, I'm gonna actually share these workspaces with you, just like I share these with all of my students. You guys will actually be able to get these instantaneously, which is really nice. So now we go from blue to blue. If we went to the blue zone, the retracement went to the blue zone, then we would look for a target up to the blue extension. And if we stayed in the red zone, right in here, actually it's this whole thing, but this red buy zone right in here, so let me mark that, then we would expect red to red. And so on this trade, hopefully you can see, this is just a hypothetical example. If we would have gotten in on a long position right in here, it stayed within the red zone, type in a wire yes, if you see that we would have traded this from here up to our red extension. So our Fibonacci's give us our area where we can start to buy, and they also give us a projection of where price is most likely going to go. Again, need to make sure, type in a wire yes in the question section if that makes a little bit of sense. Okay, perfect. All right. So now, when you get your extension and you've hit that U-turn, we call it a U-turn area, when we've hit that, this D no longer is the D. In fact, the D is done. The B overtakes or replaces the D. So after we hit our D extension, the D becomes B, and our new A is now down here. So what this allows us to do is it allows us to use this wave analysis. It allows us to ride the waves of A, B, C, D all the way up and just shift these A, B, C, Ds all the way up and continue to ride this. So the B becomes, or the D becomes a B, and the C becomes an A. And again, I want to just tell you, if you're confused, trust me when I say this, this is all automatic. I'm going to show you how all of this is automatically done. I've spent years mastering this, but you don't have to master this anymore. It's all done for you. So if now this has become the A and this has become the B, we then bring in our brand new fibs. We draw from the A to the B. Our new buy zone would be someplace in here. Type in a wire yes if that's starting to make sense. We would then rinse, wash, repeat. We'd look to buy down here and trade it to the corresponding extension. So if we went to the blue zone down here, we would trade to the blue zone up here. Then, you guessed it, this would become the new A B, and we do the same exact thing all the way up. That's all we would do, just ride the waves. Now your question might be, well, okay, but Tyson, you're eventually, the market is eventually going to shift trends, right? It's eventually going to change. You're right, it is. It's eventually going to change. And when it does, we might take a small stop, or maybe we didn't get a trend line break to get us back in. So on this example, let me just show you here, this last second example, we would have gotten a blue retracement. Let's just say this went a little deeper down. Say it went down into the blue, so blue, we would have traded blue to blue. And so this would have been kind of the area here. So we would have gotten our target there. That would have been a profitable trade. Then we would have traded another one here. That would have been a profitable trade. Then, you guessed it, we would have been also looking to buy again down in here. Now your question might be, well then Tyson, what if price reverses? What if, because remember, we're buying this because of this long-term uptrend. What if you got long here and price then falls down and then starts to break this upward trend line? Well, you've got one of two things you can do. You can either get out of the trade because we've now broke that upward trend line and now the bears are in control, or set your stop at this A because that's the new A, and if price breaks that, then you know what? We're heading down. But on this example, again, I usually don't go this detailed in these type of sessions, but on this example, we would have two really nice trades, and even if you took a stop, so just real quick example, this one here would be 1,300 pips, this one here would be 1,400 pips, and let's say you got long here and you took a stop down here, 700. So let's say you made 2,500 pips on the last two trades, but your third trade lost 700 pips, and again, these are just hypothetical examples. Did you do really good? Did you still do really good? You still did awesome. Same thing on the downside. So let me show you how the downside works. After we get a shift down, we then, once again, know that the market moves in waves. In fact, a lot of times what we'll see, and we teach all this, a lot of times what we'll see is we'll see kind of reversal patterns happen when the market's about ready to roll over. So we'll see a trend line break like that, right there. And then a lot of times what will happen is we'll put in what's called a crowning formation, where price will break the trend line, retrace that leg down, retrace it, and then continue its downtrend like this, and then start to move down like that. And what this does, and again, we teach all this, you're going to have access to all these tools. What this does is this puts in what's called a king's crown formation right there. Type in a wire yes if you can see that. Now again, very important to understand the differences between a crown and a head and shoulders. I usually don't go into these details, but I feel like I need to with this group. I got a little more time also, so I'm glad to go into this. And then I'm going to show you, we're going to go to live markets. We're going to put all this to work, and we're going to find some great trades. But anybody know the difference between a head and shoulders and a crown? If you don't, you're going to know now. So a head and shoulders pattern looks like this. So head and shoulders. Everybody's heard of the head and shoulders. Looks like this. Maybe you'll be able to tell the difference here. You got your left shoulder, you got your head, you've got your right shoulder. That's a head and shoulders pattern. Maybe not a real pretty looking head and shoulders pattern, but let me make this a little bigger. So, right? That's a head and shoulders pattern. Everybody's seen a head and shoulders pattern. You've probably traded head and shoulders patterns. They're good, right? Now let me ask you a question. Where's the right place to short a head and shoulders pattern? This is the little trade secrets here, right? On the break of the neckline, right? Because technically a head and shoulders pattern, you're still getting higher highs and higher lows. You still got this low is lower than the prior low right here. So until you break the neckline, you really can't go short, right? Well, a crown looks like this. And a crown is better because a crown allows you to get in sooner, because what happens in a crown is you break structure and then you form the right tip. So let me show you the difference, and I think you could probably see the difference right now, but the difference is this. On a crown, as an example, the head and shoulders puts in a higher low. The crown confirms with breaking structure, puts in a lower low for that leg down. And it gives a better place to short, so instead of trading on the neckline, we can actually trade the retracement point and get in at a much better price. So a crown pattern is actually substantially better than a head and shoulders pattern, and be able to master those. And I'm going to help everybody master these. This is part of what I do. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to mentor you, make sure that you get all this. Type in a wire, yes, if that makes a little bit of sense. So a crown pattern, you can actually get in and make more money on crowns than you can, and be confident and actually go in with maybe a little bigger size, because the fact that you broke into a downtrend because you broke structure, whereas a head and shoulders, you want to wait. You want to wait on a head and shoulders because you technically haven't broke structure yet. Okay, hopefully guys, that makes sense. So if you want to, you can go ahead. I don't know if this is valuable for you guys, but you can go ahead and take a snapshot of this, and then we're going to go in and we're going to find some examples. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you how everything we do, one, we're the real deal, okay? We're not like fake. We are really good traders, and we really do this to generate income I really trade to generate income for my family. And I really want to help you guys. And two, so this does work, and two, you can do it. You can do this. I promise you, you can do this. We're going to make this very simple for you. So if everything that I just talked about seems kind of complicated, it's not. I'm going to show you how this is all simple. So go ahead and take a snapshot of this. There should be a little camera button. You can take a snapshot and then type in done when you got it. So take a snapshot, type in done. No problem. I'm getting a couple people saying thanks for going a little deeper. Yeah, no problem. I'm a trader, so I don't mind going deeper. What I try to do is hopefully you guys can, even if you decide not to work with me, even if you decide that you don't want me as your mentor, that's okay. Hopefully you can at least learn something from me, right? In fact, not all of you are going to be able to work with me anyway. I only have about 20 mentoring seats available. I'll talk about that at the end here, but I only have about 20 available. All right, let's go into the live markets. I want to show you how this is all done in the live markets. Okay, so I'm going to erase all this. Okay, so using that kind of same concept of the market moving in waves, right? So the market moves in waves, and it moves in waves of higher highs, higher lows. And what we can see is back here from this low, the market was kind of waving higher, right? It's moving higher highs, higher lows, and it was putting in this nice wave pattern higher. And everything seemed pretty good, right? Until something changed. Until right here, the trend line broke. Each time for like, I don't know, what is that, almost a year and a half, every time that price would come near or to this level, it bounced off of it until right there. Type in a wire yes if that makes sense. If you can see, yep, that's where price broke. Right there. That's when something changed. Something changed. The bulls were in control, and that right there changed the sentiment to the bears being in control. Okay, so now that the bears are in control, let me zoom in there. Now that we got that break of the trend line, what we would do, let me clean this up a little bit. What we would do after we get this break of this trend line is we would say, okay, now the bears are in control, so let's bring in our Fibonacci's, right? So let's go to the high point from the last break. Let's go to the high point, and let's start bringing in our Fibonacci's. Here's the issue. When it comes to Fibonacci trading, there's a lot of traders out there, a lot of people who are scared of Fibonacci's because they don't quite know where to start. Type into me if you've heard of Fibonacci's before, but you're like, oh, I don't know because I don't know where to start. I don't even know where to place my, like, where do I place the starting point, the ending point? It just seems, yeah. So I'm gonna show you that in that for me for years. I'm not joking. For years I was a good trader that didn't trade with Fibonacci's for about 6-7 years because I was kind of afraid of them. I was like, oh man, they just seem like, they seem like a lot of work. No, they're not. It does take time to master them, but with the software that I use, with the software that I'm going to allow every single person in here to use and to have at the end of this, the ultimate charting software, I don't have to be a master of Fibonacci's anymore. I just have to know, okay, what's the market doing? The market was moving in a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. It was bouncing off of this trend line, and then for some reason, something changed. So once that something changes right here, all I have to do is go here. I go up to what's called Smart Tools, and I click. And this is called Smart Tools, and I click on that, and then I go to the high points since, so we broke here, I go to the last high point since the break, and I click. Now with one click, all of those Fibonacci's are automatically put in there. I don't have to do any of this. I don't have to sit there and draw the Fibonacci's myself and wonder, oh, did I get my AB right? Oh, I wonder, did I hit the right extension? And that's what so many students struggle with, is so many traders that try to trade Fibonacci's struggle with it. And let me give you a little background on Fibonacci's and why they work so well in the currency markets. Because banks are lazy. They just are. Banks and bank traders. Banks, they like to make money, and they don't want to pay somebody a lot of money to stare at charts and sit there and make decisions all day long. What they would rather do is have a group of programmers, MIT programmers, or really just genius people program these algorithms in black boxes that can automatically trade throughout the day and have no human intervention. They've found that that's better because, well, first, there's no emotion. Second, we're just going to trade off of numbers. Type in wire yes if you agree with the fact that a lot of these banks and these hedge funds and these big players are trading off of black boxes, dark pool, black boxes. That's what they are. In the currency markets, here's a little other secret. The easiest, most powerful thing for these black box geniuses to code are Fibonacci sequences, because all it is a mathematical formula. You have a starting point and you have an ending point. From that starting point and that ending point tells you everything else you need to do. It tells you how far the retracement's going to be and how big the extension is going to be. And that's how all of these huge institutions and big banks code their algorithms. So when you start to trade with Fibonacci's in the currency markets, you're trading exactly what Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, these big boys are trading. I don't care if you're a supply and demand trader. I don't care what type of trader you are. You will be absolutely blown away at how often Fibonacci levels line up. In fact, what I'm going to show you here is an example of how Fibonacci lined up and helped our students, Market Traders Institute students, make thousands and thousands of pips in a matter of a day. I'm going to show you that in a second. So we shifted here into a downtrend. These Fibonacci's were automatically put in. Now what we would do is we wait for that retracement, because we know the market doesn't move in a straight line. So we wait for that retracement to the sell zone. So on this big move, we never really got a retracement. So we never really would be able to participate in this move yet. So every single time, this is all done automatically. These were all put in for me, all these ABs. So this AB right here, this is our first one that we can actually participate in right here. So in this AB down, let me zoom in here, because we got a AB down, we got a 382 retracement, which is our sell zone, and a down AB. We would then, remember what I said with the perfect trade, we bring in a short-term counter trend like that. And what do we want to see? In the sell zone, our sell zone would have been right here. These were trades that we took, we set up. In our sell zone, we want to see a short-term counter trend line break and a bearish candlestick formation. Now, a lot of you, and a lot of traders worldwide struggle with bearish candlesticks. You no longer have to struggle, or candlestick formations in general. You no longer have to struggle with candlesticks ever, because we do it automatically for you. Just like the fibs are automatically done, watch this. if I know that this is my sell zone, if price was currently here, this is my sell zone, and let's say price was right here and it's right in this trend line, right? Down AB, we now have a retracement, it's bouncing off of this trend line. Now all I'm doing is waiting for a bearish candlestick formation. So now what I do is I go up here to my charts and I click on the candlesticks here and I hit select all. So every single time you see a red bar, that is a bearish candlestick. Now, I'm still not in this trade right here because I'm in this down AB. I'm in the down AB. I'm in my sell zone, but I need a bearish candlestick formation and a trend line break. So right in here, we got a bearish candlestick formation with a recent trend line break that we could have gotten into in the sell zone. So type in a wire yes in the question section if you see this right here. Let me show you it again. This is called essentially a piercing line bar or a pin bar, bearish pin bar. This right here, we had this upward trend line. We're in our sell zone. This red bar was automatically painted, bearish candlestick formation. Our next thing is once we get that bearish candlestick formation and we get the trend line break, bam, we short there. So on this trade here, you can barely see it, but you can see here we went to the blue level, which means that we would have traded blue to blue. So our target would have been down here. This one trade right here would have produced 440 pips in 14 days. 440 pips in 14 days. That's equivalent to 414 pips in 14 days. That's equivalent to $4,140 of profit in 14 days. Type in to me if you would have liked to make 41 on one trade. And just now what do? Well, again, automatically these ABs are done. I don't have to do anything. These are automatically done for me. These are automatically done for me. So now that we hit that target, the strategy automatically puts in this A, B for me. So what do? We wait, we rinse, wash, repeat. We wait for a move into our new sell zone. Our new sell zone would be up in here. Let me show you. So this was our sell zone before. Our new sell zone would now be between this area right here, right there. And so now we would walk forward some more, type in a wire yes if you see we got into the sell zone. We had a short-term counter trend line break. We didn't have any real big bearish candlesticks until right about here. That red bar was a bearish candlestick. So even if we waited for that, because we're already in our sell zone, even if we waited for that, let's see what happened. Let's move forward. We went from red, so our target would be down to the red. Let's see, did we get our target? Let's just keep going forward. And right there, bam, you can see we would have hit our target right here. So this trade here would have taken longer. This would have been more of a swing trade. That trade there would have taken, if we would have gotten in, down AB in the sell zone, waited for that bearish candlestick formation, this trade would have taken, okay, you would have taken 45 days and you would have made 550 pips in 45 days. 550 pips in 45 days. Two trades. But that's $5,500 on a $2,000 investment in 45 days. Not bad. I'll wait. That's a really decent return for me. Now what do? Well, we rinse, wash, repeat, right? So now we're in this. Now this is the one. I think this is the one. We'll see. What we do here is we do the same thing. Now we just hit our target there. Well, we got it now. We're in our sell zone again. Our new sell zone's up in here. And this is all done automatically for us. Automatically. Our sell zone's up in here. We wait for price. Remember, we want to sell at a high price. We wait for price to come up into our sell zone. Now it's up there, right? Price is up in our sell zone. What do? We wait for a counter trend line break, short-term counter trend line break with the bearish candlestick formation. Let me ask, did we get a move into our sell zone Did we get a short-term counter trend line break with a bearish candlestick formation? Yes, we did. Bam, could have shorted right there. Where do we trade? Well, we trade red to red. Let's see here. Let me just check something out. This one actually, look at this. This is where I'd have to update my target because this one actually almost went down to the red, but it didn't. It rallied back up. This one took a little longer. And then it went up to the blue retracement. So now our target would have to be adjusted. And we do this in front of you, so we would have helped you adjust this. Your target would have been down when price finally hit. This one took a little while. Finally hit this level right here. So that date right there is when you would have hit your target. So this one would have taken a little while. You would have went short here, and you would have looked like a genius and felt like a genius, you know, up about 854 pips right away, and then you would have taken some drawdowns, but finally hit your target up about 660 pips. That one took about 200 days, so 660 pips in 200 days. So that one's a little longer, but that's $6,600 on a standard lot on a $2,000 investment. That's a 300% return in 200 days. All right, so now watch this one. This is probably the most beautiful trade you're ever going to see. This is probably the most beautiful trade, one of the most beautiful trades. This right here, this trade that you're about ready to see proves unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt in anybody's mind, that Fibonacci's are the most powerful tool that you can use as a currency trader, and that smart money plays Fibonacci's. Now let's just walk through this. We're in this down AB. I want everybody to follow along with me and walk through this with me. Type in a wire yes if you can see we're in a down A, B. Okay, so that's the down AB. So we need to be a seller. Our sell zone will be when price comes up into or retraces and comes up to at least the 382. So we're not selling yet. Still not selling. Not doing anything yet. We're in cash. We're in cash. Still doing nothing. Still nothing. And as we're in cash, I want everybody to understand, while we're sitting in cash, we're going to be trading other currency pairs. We don't just trade the pound dollar. This is just an example. So we're still in this down AB, but we haven't gone into our sell zone yet. So we're still in cash. And if we don't get into our sell zone, we don't trade. Okay, down AB, waiting for our sell zone to be put in, still haven't gotten it. Okay, yes or no, did price go into our sell zone? Meaning down AB with a 382 retracement, yes or no? Type a wire yes in the question section if you can clearly see what I am talking about right there. Price goes into my sell zone. Right there. Why is that so important? Why is this probably the most beautiful trade, one of the best examples that I could ever give anybody on how the Fibonacci's are one of the most powerful tools you'll ever see? Because check out what date this is. June 22nd. Has anybody heard of, type it in ME, if you heard of Brexit? The British exit of the European Union. The vote was on the night of the 22nd into the 23rd. This is not pie in the sky. These are charts that actually happened. The day into Brexit, price moves into our sell zone at the 382 of this down AB on the daily chart, into our sell zone. We start to structure a trade to the short side, and watch this. Boom. The next day, literally the next day, there were students that started getting short here and produced 1,000, 2,000 pips of opportunity. This trade right here was one of the most brilliant Fibonacci trades I've ever seen in my entire existence. It produced about 1,900 pips of profit in about 8 trading days. And it caught. There is nothing. I will challenge you to find anything that signaled the huge sell-off that's about ready to come better than this down AB, retraced right into that 382 retracement right before Brexit, and bam, absolute crater down. And I, by the way, and many students, by the way, took advantage of that trade. Now, what do? Now let's fast forward to current live markets, right? So here we go. Now here's what we're doing. Traders, there's a little bit of a more advanced technique where we can actually start to buy, because if we think about this, the market should retrace up to the 382 retracement, right? So what we're doing is you got two ideas right now based on current market, two things you can do. Prices went from A, B, we're waiting for our C, and then we're going to trade it to our D. So there are traders right now, in fact there are traders, this is one of the trades that we set up during the election, that I am actually structuring long positions up to this 36.41. So I want to just go back, I want to just recap this, and I want to show you multiple examples. And I want to just show you, and then I'm going to show you how all of everything that I just showed you can be automated. But these trades were all trades that could have and should have been taken by pretty much everybody out there. If you're just following along with after we get this trend line break, and then you follow along with the Fibonacci's, how was your performance? Well, the first trade you made 414 pips. Second trade you made 5,500 pips, or 550 pips. Third trade you made 660 pips. And the fourth trade in fourth trade you made 1,900 pips. Overall you made 3,420 pips, 3,420 pips. And you did that in a matter of, now you might be thinking, well geez, that's a long time. Well, you did it in about 2 years. So what does this mean? 3,420 pips in 2 years equals $34,200 on a standard lot. Now, let me ask you a question. If 2 years ago you could have started taking these trades, and let's say you started with a $5,000 account, hypothetically speaking, a $5,000 account, and you turn that $5,000 account into almost $40,000 over the last 2 years, would you be happy? Type in a Y or yes if you would be happy turning a $5,000 account into $40,000 in the last 2 years, because that's what this did, as an example. That's the power of what we do. It's the power of what we do. Now, let's find some live trades. Let's find some trades that are setting up as we speak. Yeah, hopefully you guys are getting excited about this. I want you to understand that everything I'm going over, we do things different than anybody else out there. We're going to hold your hand. We're going to do this with you. We're literally going to every one of my workspaces. I share with my traders. If I set up a trade, you guys get instant access to my trades based on the software, because I can hit a button and you guys now see exactly what I have and you know exactly what I'm doing pretty much at all times. It's amazing. So let's go into this. Let's do this. Let's find a shorter term trade. I'm going to let you guys pick the currency pair. It's up to you. I'm going to show you how this works. And we're going to do this we're going to find a short-term trade. I'm going to use a 15-minute chart, and it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to show you how we can do this and how I want you guys to be able to master this. And then, after I show you a few examples of some live trades, some trades that are setting up right now, then I'm going to show you how all of this can be automated. But I want you guys to go ahead and pick the currency pairs. It's up to you. I'm going to do two examples here. It doesn't really matter to me. I'd rather you pick them so you don't think I'm like staging something. And if nobody types in any, here's the currency pairs. Let's do, well, I mean, okay, I'll pick some. Let's do, all right, euro pound. Wow, we had 2 people type in euro pound. Okay, so we'll do euro pound, and let's do a non-euro, non-pound one. Let's do euro pound and dollar yen. Perfect. Euro pound, dollar yen. Those are the 2 we're going to do. Okay. All right. So those are the two we're going to do. Let me rearrange these. And again, all of you, I'm going to give all of you access to these charts, all of you access to my analysis at the end of this. Okay, so what we've got to do is we've got to ask ourselves, well, what is the market currently doing? What is the market currently doing? And it kind of depends on how far I go back, but really, if we're looking for a short-term opportunity, I've got to basically come to a conclusion, or I've got to be able to come to some type of conclusion of what is the market doing. And I'm going to make the argument, and I'm going to say the market is currently in a downtrend, in a short-term downtrend. Multiple reasons. There's a kind of a topping formation happening right now, and we're in a shorter-term downtrend, especially based on kind of the price action today. For a few reasons. Type in a wire, yes. Even if we go shorter term, how you can see that price, when it got near or at this level, it bounced off. Until recently, price was able to break through right there. Type in a wire, yes, if you see that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I am looking, this is a short-term trade. I am looking to trade this to the downside. So here's my trade. I'm going to actually use this a little bit longer term. I could use this one here. There's a real short-term trade, and then it's more of a scalp trade, and then there's a short-term trade. Actually, I'll set up both of these. I'm going to type this out. I'm going to set you up a scalp trade, and then everybody in here will get access to this. You could actually, I'll share this with you if you decide to go forward with our mentoring. I'll share this with you so you can follow along with this trade. But here's a scalp trade. So a scalp trade means like a trade that's probably going to be in and out within the next, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So my target's going to be down to 13.57. I'm going to set these up kind of fast, but it's going to be my target, my stop. It's going to be 14.15. And my entry is going to be on a break of this, break and a close below that short-term trend line right there. So if we get a break and a close of this bar, this 15-minute bar, if this in the next 15 minutes, if we can close below that trend line right there, I want to trade to the short side. And so this trade here, so scalp trade, enter short on a close below the trend line, target 113.57, stop 114.15. So that's a real short-term scalp trade right there. There's a little bit of a more of a day trade that I like also right here. And this is more of I'd call this a short-term swing trade. This is the trade. So you can decide, I'm more of a short-term swing trader, so I would take probably this second trade here would be the one that I'd be looking to take. I'm already short in the dollar yen, just an FYI, so I won't be taking these trades because I'm already actually in this trade. My target would be down to 112.15. Okay, so why in the world am I taking these trades? Well, very simple. Okay, so the swing trade, so short-term swing, enter short on a close below the trend line. So the same entry on both trades, but the difference is one has a target 112.15 and stop on the short-term swing trade would be 114.80. So here's what I want to say. What we've just done, literally what we've just done with these two trades, give me a second, let me make this a little prettier so it makes sense. All right, so the short-term swing trade, what we're looking for is we're probably risking, I don't know, right around 85 pips to make we're going to probably risk about 85 pips to make 180 pips. Over 2 to 1. Nice. The scalp trade, we're going to look to make about 38 pips, and we're only risking about 20 pips. I actually think the short-term swing trade's better, but these are both trades that we could look to take. Why? Because we've broken into the downtrend line. I want to now use my auto fibs to get me in and manage risk there. Those are two trades that I like. The better one is this swing trade. And by the way, if this trade within the next day should produce a profit, and this trade has the profitability of 180 pips of profit equals $1,800 on a standard lot. Type in to me if you would like to make $1,800 in the next day or two. Well, here's the trade. There it is. There it is. That's how you're going to do it. I'm already in this trade, or else I would be jumping in basically right now. We do this every day, all day. This is the type of stuff I do with my students constantly. All right, let's go into one more. So not all trading setups are created equal. I would wait to get, right now I would have more of a bearish bias on this. I would wait for us to get a clean break above that trend line right there for me to do anything. I would have more of a bearish bias on the euro pound. And so what I would do is there is a trade setup here where you could look to short. This is actually a pretty good trade actually. Short on a move up into this level right up here, which will be a test of the backside of that downtrend line that I've just drawn. Kind of a test of this downtrend line here. And so what I would look for is this, is I would look for, let me change the color on this. I'm not going to type all this out, but I'll show you exactly what I'd look for. So I'd look for a move back up to this area here, price to reject off of that, have a short-term trend line break there, and then I would short there with a target here. And I don't have time to type all this out, but these are the type of trades we could find all day, every day. And then it's just about literally just finding setups. So again, I'm not going to type all this out, but what I will do is, for anybody who decides that they want to essentially, for anybody who wants my workspaces, I'm going to jump ahead for a second here. If you want these workspaces, if you want access to these exact trades, I'm going to call this Investor Inspiration. And here's what I'm going to do. If you want access to these workspaces, I'm going to now upload this in the Ultimate Charts. Then what I want you to do right now, and I'm going to show you some automation in a second, but if you know you want these workspaces, you want to get some information about how to trade with me and how to get my workspaces every single day, I want you to type in your number right now. Type your number in with the word me. We'll reach out to you. At the end of this, we'll have a conversation. We'll tell you all the details. Very simple. Very, very simple. Very straightforward. What you'll do is you'll be assigned a trading coach, and we're going to get you off and rolling and get you rocking and rolling and get you trading with me. So again, if you know that that's something that you want to do, if you're interested in getting my workspaces, just go ahead, type your phone number in with the word me. We'll reach out to you sometime today. We'll make sure that this is you understand what you're getting, you understand kind of the ins and outs. But these two trades right here, just an FYI, if I go short in the euro pound, that's about 300 pips. That's $3,000 of opportunity, and this one has $180. So we're talking probably $4,000 to $5,000 worth of opportunities. $4,000 to $5,000, everybody, of opportunity that I've literally in 5 minutes found for you and set up for you. When you type in your phone number, I'm going to give you access to these workspaces. Now, some of you in here are still like, oh man, Tyson, yeah, it seems cool, but it seems kind of hard. I'm going to show you something that's just going to blow you away. What if all you had to do as you learn and as we're teaching you, as we're holding your hand, because we're different than anybody else out there. I want to make this very clear. Myself and Market Traders Institute, not to say that there's not other good people out there, there are, but we are different in a couple different ways. And one of the major ways that we're different is very simple. We are real, and we really want to show you that this business is easy, and as we show you, we want to hold your hand. So I share my workspace. So everybody who's in the Ultimate Charts right now actually just got an alert. They now, the thousands of students can go into, and they can see the exact, they don't even have to be in this webinar, and they could see the exact trades that I just set up. Literally, they could see those trades right now because I just uploaded those. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to hold your hand, but as we hold your hand, I'm going to give you an opportunity, all of you in here, to trade with me and my team for 4 full months. You're going to be able to trade with us every single day, 2 hours a day, and not like telling you about the currency markets and not like doing, you know, oh, here's what a currency pair is. No, I'm actually setting up trades, trading, generating income. You're going to be able to do that with us 2 hours a day, every single day. At the same time, use the same exact workspaces that I do, the same exact tools. Learn the same exact step-by-step processes that I use. And to make it even better, as you're learning and as you're mastering this, I want to just show you this real fast. So what if all you had to do was push play? What if there was a company out there that invested millions and millions of dollars in advancing technology and millions of dollars of creating their own software to help students be able to do this and generate income in a very easy, systematic way? Well, there is. Watch this. This is the euro yen. I'm going to show you this on multiple currency pairs. And then I'm going to give everybody in here, I want all of you, every single one of you, to get your hands on this. I only have 20 available students that I can mentor, that I can actually get this automation and mentor you. But I want to show you this. In a second, you're going to see red arrows down and green arrows up. And I didn't put those red arrows up in there. The system automatically did it. And what I want you to understand is when you see those red arrows and those green arrows, they're automatically put in there and they're automatically traded in your account, regardless of where you have your, your broker. Whether you're at FXCM, Forex.com, TD Ameritrade, it doesn't matter. Whenever this generates a trade, boom, while you're sleeping, while you're golfing, while you're doing your things, it's automatically done. Now watch this. I'm going to hit run, and you're going to see this. Okay, so it's loading the system, loading the system. In a second, you're going to see red and green arrows automatically done for you. Bam. Type in a wire yes if you can see the red and green arrows. Now let's go back to October or November 1st. Let's say that you started trading with us November 1st or right near November 1st, right? So November 1st, you would have gotten your first signal to short right here. So you would have went short down to here. This would have made 53 pips. So I'm just going to show you this. This would have all been done automatically, 53 pips. This trade here, you would have went long here. Whoops. This trade here, you went long here, short here, 64 pips. I'm going to go through this kind of fast because we don't have a ton of time. This trade here, you would have went short here real fast, got out for 93 pips. This is all done automatically for you, 93 pips there. Look at this trade. Long here, short here, 220 pips. Where am I getting that? Up here, 220 pips. All done automatically. All you had to do is push the button. Now, I get the question a lot of times, Tyson, does it ever take losses? Yep, look at this. Took an 83 pip loss. Yes, we take losses every once in a while. It happens. But then that 83 pip loss was followed by a 175 pip win. And imagine all you did was push play on this thing. And this, another loser, this trade lost about 60 pips. All you did was push play. And this is an example of one currency pair. Now imagine if you did this, and as I go through these results, imagine this was up about 120 pips. Imagine if you did this not in just one currency pair, that was up about 75, and then we're currently long. Right now, you would be long right here, and this current trade would be up 195 pips. So imagine if all you did was push play in the beginning of November, and you generated 53 pips, 64 pips, 93 pips, 220 pips. This trade you lost 83, but then you followed it up with 175, you lost 60, but then you made 120, then 75, and then you're currently up 195. Since November, you're up 852 pips, and all you did was push play. That's $8,520 on a standard lot. Now, I want you to imagine something. Imagine if you did this on 3 or 4 different currency pairs. Not just one, but 3 or 4 different currency pairs. And all you did was set this up as you're mastering the market. You're learning from me as I'm holding your hand, as I'm teaching you the sequences, teaching you everything we went through over the last hour. And as I'm sharing my workspaces with you, and as you're trading with me and my team 2 hours every single day over the next 4 months, all you're doing is push and play on this. And so you're earning a ton of money while you're mastering the markets. Type in a me, M-E, if you think, holy smokes, there's no way you should lose money. That's it. That's the fact. Guys, listen, I'm here to tell you, I am so confident that we're going to get you guys making money. I'm going to give you a couple promises. I want to get this automated strategy, and I want to get you my 4 favorite automated strategies, along with all of the ultimate program, ultimate Forex program education. I want to get this in your hands, along with my workspaces, everything. Now, here's the deal. This comes with the A to Z education that you need, all the Fibonacci's, everything. But what it also comes with is very, very, very amazing bonuses. And I think this is really what I want to talk about. Because when you join, when you become part of our team, and I only have 20 seats. There's only 20 seats, and we've got 180 people in here. So unfortunately, not all of you are going to be able to be on my team. But those that are, what I'm going to do is something very special. Our next class is the 12th and the 13th. So it's next week. I have 20 seats available of students that I want to take, and I want to share my workspaces starting today. I want you to have my workspaces. I want you to be able to set up the automation starting today, literally today. I want you to be able to have all of this, okay? All of this. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you trade with us for 4 full months. Every day for 5 days a week for 4 months you're going to trade with us. Now here's how I'm going to make this like literally like the most like biggest no-brainer thing ever. I've said this a few times in this webinar, and I'm going to really say this now. And I'm going to make sure that I really slow down for a second. Sometimes I can get excited, but I'm going to slow down. And I want to say this very clearly. We are either going to have you be a raving fan of the currency markets, or we're going to have you just absolutely head over heels about what we do and what you've learned. You're going to absolutely just be blown away, and you're going to earn money while you're learning how to do this with the automation, with me and my team trading with you, with all the education. And you're going to be able to test drive all of this over the next 30 days, or you pay us nothing, $0. Nothing. There is nobody in the world that does what we do. 30 days, that means you can consume everything we do. You can master the markets in the next 30 days with us, and then at the end of 30 days, you can ask for your money back. Why do we do this? Because we're so dang confident that you're going to walk away loving us. But here's how I am personally going to put myself on the line. I've done this with Market Traders Institute. And I went up to them and I've said, listen, I'm going to put myself on the line. This is a big deal to me. I am personally going to guarantee you that over the next 60 days, I'm going to give you a $4,000 or a 400 pip guarantee that we will show you 400 pips worth of opportunities. Yes, think about this. That's almost like basically saying, you're going to make a bunch of money and basically pay for all the education, get a huge return on the investment, and just love us and love this. If you don't, you get all your money back. You get every dime back. You don't pay us anything. It's done. So what I want to do is I want to make this very simple. I have 20 spots, 20 people that I can bring on, that I can mentor. I teach this class once every 5 or 6 months. We're not going to be teaching this class. The next one is the 12th and the 13th. We're not going to be teaching this class again for about 5 or 6 months. So you can wait 5 or 6 months. That's okay. It's absolutely okay. But here's what I want to do. I want you right now, if you have any desire to get the automation, to get my workspaces, to get the same exact charts that I have, if you have some type of desire to put us to the test where we're going to guarantee you're going to see $4,000 worth of opportunities, then what I want to encourage you to do right now is type in your phone number with the word me. And when you do that, I want you to understand you're not automatically signing up. But what you are doing is you're saying, you know what, I kind of want to be one of those. I kind of want to see if I can be one of those 20 students that Tyson's going to hold his hand. I'm going to hold your hand. We're going to walk down this together. And if you don't make if you don't see yourself making a bunch of money, if you don't walk away as a raving fan of us, then guess what? Get your money back. And so how much does it cost? What is the cost? And here's what I want to do. Again, I want to encourage everybody in here. Type in your phone number with the word me. And if you do, if you know, like, hey, listen, I want to be one of those 20. I want to see what I can do to lock in my seat. Then what I want you to do is type in your phone number with the word me. But more importantly, I want you to use this link because I've got 20 seats available. I've got 20 seats. And I want you to use this link right here. And I want you to go to this link. And what you do is you'll go ahead and you'll type this in and you'll use that link. And for $97, you're going to secure your seat. You're going to completely secure your seat. And then what we'll do is, just like when you type in your phone number with the word me, we're going to reach out to you. We're going to go over all the details of what all this means when you go through the Ultimate Forex program. When you what it means as you get my charts for 4 months, absolutely as a bonus. When you get a trade with us for 4 full months, every single day for 4 months, 5 days a week. You're going to get my automation tools. Now, I just showed you. I want you to think about this. If you haven't typed in your phone number, then I got to tell you, I must not be speaking real clearly. Because when you type in your phone number, and for $97 you secure your seat and you get part of this, my mentoring group, the 20 students only, all you have to do is just sit there and watch us. Watch us trade for the next 30 days. Don't even risk your own money. Just watch us for 30 days. Turn your automation on. We'll help you set up a demo account in the Ultimate Charts. Turn it on, and if you don't like what you see, if you're not just absolutely blown away about what you see, then get your money back. There's nothing for you to lose, nothing. And everything to gain. Because if we are who we say we are, then you've now just joined some of the most profitable, most successful traders in the world, and you're going to master these techniques very fast because we're going to do it with you. So again, I want to encourage, I want to ask, and I want to challenge every person in here to type in their phone number with the word me right now. It doesn't mean that you're automatically signing up. I want to make sure everybody understands that. What it means is you're willing to, if you go to this link, you can secure your seat for $97. What we're going to do is we're then going to reach out to you. All right? We're going to reach out to you. We're going to have a conversation. And if for some reason you decide that it's not for you, if you decide it's not for you, that's fine. We're going to refund you your $97. So if you use that link and you go to that link and you pay the $97, there's 20 seats available. It's first come, first serve. If you use that link, then and we can't contact you, if we can't get a hold of you between now and to the end of the day, we're going to automatically refund your $97. So, you know, it's important for you to answer your phone. But here's the deal. When you type in your phone number with the word me, what you're really doing is you're really saying you want to have a conversation. Now, you might still have some more questions. So if you do have some more questions and you're not quite sure, you can type in your phone number with a question mark. That's okay. But what you're doing is you're saying, Tyson just talked some really big game. And this guy just talked like, you know, this. So he's either one of two things. He's either nuts and he's crazy, or maybe he's real. Maybe what he just showed me is actually real. Maybe Tyson's, this account here, Tyson, real account, maybe this is actually up 27,000 pips since June. So I want to thank those, and I want to encourage every, and I mean this, every person in here. I want to encourage you right now. Right now is the time. If there's a will, there's a way. A lot of you may trade stocks and options. A lot of you might not trade at all. But what I want you to do is this, is I want you to type in your phone number with the word me. Or if you know that you want to enroll and you want to secure one of those 20 seats, what I want you to do is type in your phone number with the word link. So you got 3 options. If you want to just have a conversation with us, get all the details, type in your phone number with the word me. We're going to reach out to you. If you know you want to sign up, you want to secure and then have a conversation with us, and if it doesn't work out, we'll refund that back to you. Because we want to prove to you that we are who we say we are. And we're going to give you your money back if you conclude that we're not. We're fine doing that because we are really good. So you type in your phone number with the word link. And then if you're like, I don't know, I still have some questions, that's okay. What I want you to do is this, is I want you to type in your phone number with a question mark. And I want you to have a conversation with us, because when you type in your phone number with a question mark, what it shows me is it shows me that you have the desire to trade with the professionals. Now, I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound maybe a little harsh, but it comes from the heart. I believe all of you are going to go out there and trade. I don't know if all of you are going to trade currencies, but you're going to trade. You're going to hear from great educators today. That's awesome. Now, if you're going to trade currencies, if you're going to trade in this business, understand this. Money transfers from the uneducated to the educated. You guys, if you do this without us, if you do this without the professionals, I am going to make money in the next 3, 4, 5 months, and I want you to make money with me. I'm very confident in that. And if you do this with us, you can be on the winning side. If you don't do it with us or do it with a professional, you're kind of trading against us. That's not I traded against the professionals for a very long time, and I won't do it again. So again, I want to thank those that have typed in their phone number. I have a couple people that typed in their phone number in the private section. Thank you to Maria. Thank you. I've got your phone number. Maria Trader. Bill. Thank you. I've got your phone number. Bill B. I've got your phone number. Paul. Thank you. I've got that note with the word me. Thank you for that. Jonathan, thank you. I see that you signed up. That's awesome. Congratulations there. Hugo, thank you. I've got that note there too. So again, I want to make sure everybody understands there's no risk to you. You type your phone number in. We're either going to make you a raving fan of what we do or get your money back. Now, I've got to end on this. I have 20 seats available. I have 20 seats available, but I have a very special limited offer for a few limited students. But what I want you to do, if you have any desire to do this, and there are some restrictions, there's some rules and requirements, but I'll tell you, we can make this happen. If you want to do this, if you're interested in any of what I've just talked about, and if you have a desire to do this, I want you to type in your phone number, and we'll tell you how you can get everything I just talked about for free. So all you need to do is type in your phone number with the word free right now. And we're going to contact you. When you type in your phone number with the word free, we're going to contact you. We're going to tell you the details of all of it. And I can tell you right now that you're going to be blown away about what we're going to do and what we're willing to do for you to get you down this path of changing your life. So again, I want to encourage everybody to type in your phone number if you have not yet. This is a no-brainer now. We're going to tell you how you can get everything I just talked about, the automation, the trading room, my charts, all the education, and the guarantees absolutely free when you type in your phone number with the word free right now. So again, I'm going to keep this open, obviously, for a few more minutes. We've got the next speaker coming on in about 3 minutes. You still have time, though. Again, if you have not yet typed in your phone number, if you have not yet went to that link, and even if you have, we're still going to talk to you about this. We'll make sure you understand that. What I want you to do is type in your phone number with the word free. If you know for a fact you want to mentor under me, which I want to help you, then what I want you to do, the best way to do is go and use that link that I just sent out. Use that link, pay the $97, have a conversation with us, and we're going to give you all the details. We're going to give you the details of the free. We're going to give you the details of all the program. Most importantly, we're going to prove to you that you can do this. You can be wildly successful. So again, I want to thank those. I see a bunch of people have typed in the private section. That's great. Thank you for that. Ralph, thank you. Milton, thank you. Hugo, thank you. I've got your phone number. Thank you for that. Maria, thank you. I've got your phone number. Jonathan, thank you. I see that you signed up. That's awesome. Bill B, thank you. Bill D, thank you. Aaron, thank you. Okay, hey, everybody, listen. Thank you so very much. Well, obviously, you still have time to type in your phone number. You still have time to go and use that link and make sure that you get access to that. We want to reach out to you. We want to make sure that you're on our team. We want to make sure that this is a good fit. And we're willing to put ourselves out there. If you're not happy, pay us nothing. You have nothing to lose. We're either going to help change your life financially or enhance it, or you're going to learn a bunch of really good information and you get your money back. So, all right, on that note, guys, Renee, everybody else, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Thanks.